to have to ramble for a hot second so that I can adjust and get comfortable with the sound of my voice in my own head. I finally got a microphone so that I can start recording actual episodes versus recording on my phone. Listening back on the audio, I'm like, wow, I can actually hear the intensity of my voice, which is the entire purpose of this, so that you can hear the intensity, you can hear the emotion, you can hear the drive. So welcome to my safe space. Welcome to your safe space. When I first alchemized my idea of turning my self-talk into a community, I started researching the absolute heck out of podcasts. I had so many ideas for podcast names and little snippets I wanted to make, different titles, a lot of different titles. And shortly into my research, I found out that I am so unoriginal. Apparently, everyone is a podcaster, and I didn't know that before this, because the way that this started was I was going through a really intense period of my life in which I was alone a lot of the time. I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but I did move across the country alone with no stable job, with no family where I was moving to. I was moving away from all my family, all my friends. And then shortly after I moved, I went through a breakup. So I was alone a lot of the time. So the way that this started was I would be going through something like really in the thick of it, and I didn't know who to go to talk to about it. It's not that I didn't have people in my life that I knew loved me. I could always call my friends from home. I could always have that conversation over the phone. But it was more than the fact that I didn't have anyone around me. It was more so that I needed a space where I felt safe. So it's become a part of my mission to create these safe spaces everywhere that I go. I want to create safe space within myself and within every person I meet. I want them to know that I am a safe space for them. It is so important to me. For most of my life, I didn't feel like I had any purpose or mission, but now I'm seeing it develop into this extension of love and being. And anyways, it feels so good. So I'm researching about podcasts. Oh wait, I skipped over the part of why this started. So as I was searching for a safe space and I couldn't find one, I decided, well, if I can't find it, I'll be it. Which is a huge theme in everything in life. If you can't find the community, be the community. If you can't find love, be love. So that's what I've been doing. I stopped seeking out what I was looking for, and I started showing up as that. So when I would be going through a really hard time, I would just pull out my phone and I would create voice recordings. It was a form of talking to myself, but it was mostly I was talking to spirit. And it literally transformed my life. So then it turned into the idea of, well, okay, my voice is being heard for the first time ever, even if it's just by spirit, even if it's just by myself. But that's the most important, right? We are all spirit. We are all a conscious collective. So just by putting your voice out there, you're being heard. By acknowledging your own voice, you allow the world to acknowledge your voice. So that's how this started. And I spoke to Spirit about it. Or Spirit spoke to me, really, and I started receiving the signs again. I started getting the ringing in my ears. I started getting the fuzzy feelings. I started getting the tingling and the gut feelings. God, there were so many gut feelings. And these feelings I'm talking about, if you've experienced them, if you are an intuitive, not even if you're an intuitive, but if you are a human being going through life, I'm sure you've experienced at least one of these feelings. And they are not comfortable. But anyways, this is how it started. And I already spoke to Spirit about this podcasting. So there's really nothing you can do to stop me now because it's already out there. But I started my research, right? I'm researching through Spotify podcasts and Apple podcasts, just through the general internet. And I realized that everyone is a podcaster. And I was like, okay, there is no room for me at the inn. I let myself feel very let down, and I ridiculed myself, thinking, why did I think that this was something for me? And these thoughts were already occurring after I had bought my microphone, so that was pretty problematic because I had already invested in it. But then I caught myself. And I journaled about it for hours. And yes, I do mean hours. I am an avid journaler. Before a speaker, I am a journaler. I write everything down. So I journaled about it. I journaled about my limiting beliefs, and I got to the root of it. I sat with my feelings. Why did I feel unworthy? Why did I feel not good enough? Why did I feel that my voice should not be heard? And as I'm digging through these thoughts and these feelings, I uncovered so much. As a kid, my voice was never heard. I grew up in a family of 6. Well, a family of 8, but I had 5 siblings. So I was quieted. As a woman, collectively, as a woman, we are all quieted. We are all silenced. So as I'm uncovering all of this transformed everything I felt. It transformed the way that I viewed my drive towards making a podcast. Of course, I am not the only one dying to speak out after being silenced for so long. And I am not the only one worthy of being heard. I am not the only human that records themselves talking to themselves in hopes that I can begin to understand who I am, why I am the way that I am, who we are, who the conscious collective is. Why I don't want to be the only one. So this was a beautiful discovery. And this is what I'm talking about. This is the journey. And after I had gone through this and I had let myself feel down, and then I did the shadow work, and then I came out from it feeling fresh and new, I felt that tingling sensation all over my body. And that is the feeling of your limiting beliefs physically shedding their layers, because they try so hard to hang on to you. But if you keep clawing at it, they're going to have nothing to cling to. So it's up to you to keep going at it, to keep doing the work. And it's not easy. It is not easy. It is not comfortable. But I just marveled at the beauty of it. I mean, how beautiful is it that in this day and age, we can all better access our voice. We can alchemize our voice and share it. I thought it was so beautiful. Because as I was doing my research, I realized how many new podcasters are women and women of color. And we're all, I don't want to say we're all, but a lot of the podcasts that I found, it was a lot of a similar concept, that we all felt that we had something that needed to be shared. So we went and we shared it. And it was funny because a lot of the podcasts that I researched, I would listen to the first episode because the first episode's the most important, right? Not actually, but it gives you the gist of, okay, this is who I am, this is my identity, and this is who you're following, this is who you're going to be keeping up with. This is the identity behind the voice. And in every first episode, they would just, they would come off as a beautiful energy. And everyone would say, I've been meaning to do this for so long, and here I am finally doing it. Like, how beautiful is that? Because I just know to get to the point that they were at then, to post that first episode, I'm sure they had to go through their own catastrophic event of unlearning and getting past all of the doubt. And that's what was beautiful to me. So I would listen to the first episode, and everyone would be a little bit shy, and they would talk about similar things like, hey, this is who I am, and this is why you should listen to me. And like, I was really afraid to start this at first, but I'm pushing past that and I'm doing it anyways. And this is what I'm going to be doing. And I'm happy that you're here. It was a very much welcome. I'm grateful you're here. This is why I'm here. A very shy and like warm energy. And then I would listen to their most recent episode, and you can hear so much growth in not only their voice, they spoke louder, they were more affirmative, they weren't questioning themselves, and the audio would usually be better, the audio as well as any music they included. So it's incredible to see the growth and inspiring. And as I was doing my research, I was like, okay, this is what I needed to hear. Because a lot of the newer podcasts, they would stress on and on and on about how they felt that what they first released needed to be perfect. But if they were to post the perfect first episode, then they would never post an episode, because perfect doesn't really exist. And if they were to wait for it to be perfect, they would be waiting for the rest of eternity. So they faced their fears and they did it anyway. And it's beautiful. At first I let it put me down because I just thought, everyone's already done what I'm about to do. But I already knew that was the ego speaking. No one's done what I'm about to do. No one said what I'm about to say. Our thoughts are the only thing we can give away without subtraction. Because when you have something physical like money, say you have $10 and you give away $5, you are left with $5. But when you have a thought like, I want to start a podcast, and you tell another human or you tell another being this thought, you gain. Your thought only grows bigger because now it lives in the minds of the collective. You didn't lose the thought. The thought is still yours, but now the thought belongs to my cat. The thought belongs to 3 of my closest friends. The thought belongs to my sister. The thought belongs to all of the living beings in my apartment, all of my plants. It belongs to the grass outside and the ocean and the clouds. It belongs to the tree that I pass by every day. And now this thought it's not even just a thought anymore, it's reality. I have given this thought away over and over and over, and I have not yet lost a single piece of it. That's power, baby. That's power. That's why it's so important to talk to the trees, to the plants, the ocean. Tell them your dreams. They're not going to take them away from you. It's only going to grow bigger. So in a way, we're all podcasters, aren't we? I mean, literally, these days it actually feels like we are all podcasters. But you know what? I'm unapologetic about it. If anything, recording my voice and listening back to it is healing to me. It's cathartic to me. And when you heal yourself, you give others the freedom to do the same. That's what I'm here for. That's what you're here for. To understand is the greatest gift. It unlocks everything. We need to live a life led by love. So I'll be here to understand. I'll be alchemizing my voice every week. This is a journey that we are on collectively. I invite you to show up as yourself entirely. Please, I am literally extending an invitation to you. As if I wrote it on a card and I put it in the mail and I sent it out to you. I am inviting you to show up as yourself entirely. When you go to listen to this, you don't show up as a mother. You don't show up as a sister. You are not showing up as a he, she, they, them. No, you are showing up as who you are. And who you are cannot be put behind these labels. So show up entirely as yourself, even if you do not know who that is, and especially if you don't know who that is. Just show up anyways. And we can learn and unlearn together. We can face our limiting beliefs. We can unlock. We can be and become. So I vow to show up authentically so that I can free you to do the same. So thank you for being here. Thank you for taking up space because you are worthy. Now I have a plethora of recordings, a plethora of thoughts and feelings, of journal entries and poetry that I am so excited to share with you and extend. And that is all to come. That is all to come. But right now, I just wanted to welcome you. And give me grace as I try to come up with a podcast name / title, because like I was saying in the beginning, as I was doing my research, it feels like everything already exists. And I'm struggling a little bit to come up with something. I had so many ideas. But you know what? That can only mean that the ideas that I have, they just aren't the right one yet. And I am on my way to finding what is true. What is true for me, what is true for you, what is true for us in this space. So I will come up with a name. But as for this pilot episode, I just wanted to welcome you. So let's take a deep breath. Let's recognize that our breath is the very essence of who we are. And let's slow down. Let's stop rushing. Because what is the rush? There is absolutely no rush. There is no rush at all. Let us come back to this moment and take a deep breath. Inhale with me. Exhale. I love you.